to the rebrand. So the most immediate concern was that when we first started canning, the minimum of pallet numbers and the minimum amount of cans that we had to get with each order was relatively low. Time went on and more breweries started canning, more craft breweries started canning, and when it became pretty evident that we weren't going to be able to keep those minimums. To start, we went in deep at 6 brands, and only having to pull 8 pallets per each meant that we didn't sit on inventory too long in the back. So when that changed, and then we upped it to 7 brands, and now we're at 8 brands, it became pretty apparent that we weren't going to be able to carry that much inventory in the back. It just didn't make economical sense. The idea initially came from, what if we had a stock printed can that had our logos, our logo on the top, and then we went to a printed label solution, and how could we do that to make the cans look as much like a printed can without it costing as expensive, being as expensive cost-wise as like a full printed, full color printed digital label. I gave, like most of our projects, I gave JP a whole lot of flexibility and artistic license to do what he wanted.
The cream ale can and the stuff that was on the County Line IPA and the Churchville Lager, that was some of the very first illustrated work I did for Neshaminy, and so that was literally the oldest stuff we had going in operation. So it was a huge relief to be able to take a step back and reassess everything and sort of think about where all that art took us and kind of think about the next step forward, Yeah, I guess so, man. Like flexography and the printing process that we're doing on these new labels is so spot on and so like perfectly executed that knowing I don't have to worry about stay away on a can surface or any gap in printing or any expansion of the cans while the thing's getting printed on them, all that stuff is out the window when you're talking about printing onto a clear film that wraps onto a can. So working larger was one thing that I did, and knowing the printing process was going to be more forgiving, affording myself more detail and things like that was really nice. And of course, just knowing kind of what character from each can or label sort of clicked most, and sort of playing that up, I think, on these.
Working with Irv and the guys and Chev over the guys over at Star, we came up with a solution for the Flexo screen printed labels. Actually increase the number of printed colors, spot colors, PMS spot colors we could have on each can. So really the cans are, if anything, they actually look a lot sharper than the screen printed cans.
Up until this point, the printing process that we have used for all of NCBC's labels has been HP Indigo digital printing, which is the highest quality digital printing available today. The new clear versions of the beer can labels will be printed flexographically, also known as Flexo. Flexo printing offers many different options for the printing and converting of labels. Labels are printed using mixed inks along with a photopolymer printing plate. I guess you could say that Flexo is analog compared to digital. For longer running jobs, flexographic printing is more economical than digital printing because the speed of the Flexo press is much faster and the cost of the consumables are less. Star Label Products offers both digital and flexographic printing. This allows us to look at each application and decide what makes the most sense.